Good evening, Fernwood. My name's Neil, and after 8 months of quarantine, I've given myself a challenge, a mission, a task to do, something to keep me from being alone and insane. I recently got this box set of Mary Hartman, the DVD set. It's 325 episodes, and my hope is to deliver an episode a day, weekdays, for the entire run of the series. Can I do it? I don't know. Let's just start with me watching this episode. I don't know how to put it on the screen for you because, it would be nice to share, but you might just have to get your own DVD set. In the meantime, I'm starting with episode 1 of the series, January 5th, 1976. It's a niche show for a cult audience, or a cult show for a niche audience. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I'm just going to do this thing, and we'll see how it goes. Starring Louise Lasser. You gotta love that music. It is so iconically soap opera. Dodie Goodman, famous actor of the 70s. Norman Lear was a huge name. Actually, I think he's still producing.
Possibly be to each other, with you in jail and me on crutches.
We'll be back with more of our story tomorrow.
Mary Hartman and her sister. Mary Hartman's watching soap operas and mopping.
She's so wonderful. No matter what happens to her, she's just so marvelous. How do you like the floor? See that glow?
See that glow.
Do you mean the waxy yellow buildup?
What do you mean? The kid.
Waxy yellow buildup.
I love how they look close to the camera and see this
It is a little yellow.
waxy yellow buildup or not waxy yellow buildup.
Anyway, that's not what's really bothering you, is it?
And that surreal siren going on in the background.
Cathy, look what all the sirens are. You'd think someone got murdered on the next block.
It's Tom. Tell me, what about your marriage?
So Mary is married to a guy named Tom. She's lighting a cigarette, refusing to answer the question that her sister's asking.
Lord, Mary, you're not going to believe what happened. Whew,
Conversation interruptus.
No one came from next door. It was a mass murder on the next block.
You mean somebody told you before me?
Wait, there actually was a murder and a circle wife.
It's a terrible joke.
Who's joking over on Mary Jane Street? Mary June.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean Mary Jean with Wolf? I was rehearsing some tunes from a nightclub act when somebody just shot them.
Loretta dropping bombs.
The whole family? All 5 of them, plus 2 goats and 8 chickens.
Oh, that's...
He's a reporter.
Hi, I'm Harold Clemens with the Fernwood Courier. Talk about your lucky breaks. I was in the neighborhood covering the Fernwood flasher when all of a sudden, blam, 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 I get involved in this mass murder.
Fernwood flasher.
Yeah, some old guy who goes around exposing himself. Bing bong.
Can I ask you one question before you leave?
She's looking at the floor.
Do you see any waxy yellow buildup on that floor?
Looks fine to me.
American marketing, everyone. We're in a new spot. It's a lunchroom.
My Loretta sings twice as good as she does, and she writes all her own songs.
That guy is married to
She'll be a
Loretta.
big star someday, you'll see. I tell you, when we make that demonstration record and we play it for those guys in Nashville, that's going to be it.
Well, you really got something going with that Loretta of yours, don't you?
I love that the husbands work together and the
About
wives,
the music business?
the wives like chat together.
How often do you...
Oh, you mean, how many times a week do we, 5 or 6 times a week.
Damn. Pretty good.
No, I mean, that's not a #1 week with a bullet in it, but you just said average.
Depending on what this means.
Did you hear what just happened?
So there's a mass murder, a flasher,
Your son-in-law can take it, but I can't.
waxy yellow
Listen,
buildup.
Charlie, I'm not talking about the Fernwood flasher.
I know, you know. You're talking about the mass murder. We just heard all about it. But
And do you know who they were? Buck Lombardi, his wife, and 3 kids. That's
Buck Lombardi, his wife, 3 kids, the goats and the chickens,
somebody we know?
all murdered.
the new guy on the line. Lombardi, ain't that awful?
Oh, they worked with him.
I didn't know he...
That's strange.
Yeah, the only time I ever saw him was on overtime. He had a Zenith portable with 2 speakers.
Zenith portable.
Charlie, a guy gets murdered and all he can talk about is the radio. I mean, that technical stuff is important, Tom. You should hear Loretta. Loretta would sound great on 2 speakers. And that's why I'm saving up all this money, so we can get real good engineers and the best musicians for the demonstration record.
Has Mary been feeling all right lately?
Yeah, what makes you ask that? What?
Because she happens to be my daughter, that's why.
But
Whoa.
you're not going to pull father-in-law on me, huh?
No, but her mother asked me to ask you. It seems that she thinks that Mary is worried about something.
I haven't noticed it.
Waxy
Yeah?
yellow buildup.
Yeah.
There's lots of intertwining families in this.
Cartridge. One
All right.
in the chamber.
He's loading up a revolver. He's reading the instructions on how to load up a revolver and pointing it at the door. Not a good plan. Tom,
What's the gun for?
What? It's for protection. I mean, I wouldn't want to
it's a
have
very
my body
playful
taken out of
relationship,
my
but if
bed.
someone was pointing a gun at the door, I would not be giggling about it.
Would be manly, Dave.
A loaded gun on the
Protect my family.
dresser.
Why?
Why what?
Did Chekhov have something to say about that?
I'm trying to protect my family because of...
Oh, her pigtails are out. And she's getting kind of frisky. Oh my gosh, she's nibbling on his neck.
Cut it up. Cut it up.
There's no law against her making love, you know. We're married.
I know.
We have a license.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with it. When I feel like making love to you, I'll make love to you. Because every time I feel like doing something, you do it first. That's why.
So,
It kills everything.
what?
It makes me feel like not doing anything.
What am I supposed to do if I want to make love to my husband?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's right. And when I feel like doing it, I'll do it.
Oh,
That's
that-
gross.
When I tell you, that's when. Meanwhile, act like a woman.
And do nothing?
That's right, stay put. And then when I feel like doing it, I'll do it. But I don't feel like doing it when you're doing it. Good night.
I feel like there's a negotiation that could happen here. And some really gross power dynamics in this relationship. Like, don't come on to me and I'll come on to you, and there's only one way that this can happen. There's more. I'm sure it's gonna
Honey?
unpack.
Yeah, honey?
Oh, Loretta, your hair is perfect in
If you had
bed.
anything in the whole wide world that you wanted for breakfast, what would you?
Bacon and eggs will be fine.
Okay, he
Yeah,
reminds me a lot of... I blew myself from Arrested Development. You know that guy? Tobias Funke, that's the character.
Honey, are you sure you're not sorry?
Sorry about what, baby boy?
You sure you're not sorry you married me? Maybe in 43 and all.
And me being 22 and I love you. Anyway, I was the one that asked you to marry me, remember? And he said yes before you even knew I could sing.
Good for you,
Otherwise,
Loretta.
I think he'd marry me for all the money I'm gonna make.
If I have to kill myself, we're going to get that $510. And you're going to make that demonstration record, and we're going to play it for those big shots in Nashville, and you're going to be a star. Which, by the way, I almost got the money already. So you just get your...
I will say Loretta really seems sincere in the things that she feels. I dig Loretta.
Honey.
There's a lot of nuzzling in this show.
Honey, that reminds me. I'm gonna load up the shotgun before I take off.
Okay.
You know, on account of what's been happening in the neighborhood and all.
A loaded revolver in one house and a loaded shotgun in the next house.
Oh. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm afraid that there's a slight problem with breakfast. Hi, Mom. Listen, I'm really in a room.
I was gonna say, she answers the phone, picks it up and says, "Hi, Ma," before even hearing who it could be.
Ma, I told you I'm very busy right now. Hello?
It's not her
Hello,
mom this
Mrs.
time.
Hartman?
Yes?
Sergeant Foley at Fernwood Police Station.
Police guy.
Police station? Grandpa Larkin's at the police station?
Yes, he is. No, he's not hurt. And what happened, I'm afraid, was not an accident.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I'm afraid he did it deliberately. That's why he was arrested.
What was he arrested for?
Indecent exposure.
Indecent exposure?
That's right. I'm afraid, Mrs. Hartman, your grandfather is the Fernwood flasher. Mrs. Hartman.
Roll in credit music. So Mary Hartman, episode 1, there is so much going on. More obscure stuff. This show reminds me of an old radio show called Vic and Sade, which had small town folks talking on a porch about obscure things. And it was really, really sweet. That's Vic and Sade. With Mary Hartman, the folks are talking about these obscure things, but it's intertwined with soap opera stuff. There's a murderer, there's a flasher. The flasher's your grandfather. That's later, I guess. I skipped a little bit. Loretta's trying to get a demo recorded so she can hit the big time. She's married to a guy that's 20 years older than her, 21 years older than her. Mary and Tom are having the marital conflict that's kind of ugly. There's a sister. I don't really know what her deal is. I think her name is Cathy. The relationships are all set up, and I get the feeling that we're going to see a lot of dominoes falling. So that was the first episode of Mary Hartman. I'm going to record a bunch of these, and we'll see. I don't know if anyone even knows this show, but it's what I'm going to do for a little while. Thank you for joining, and we'll catch you tomorrow night in Fernwood.